taking the time to, for example, our high-efficiency Bryant heating and air conditioning systems can save you thousands long-term on your energy bills. For homes without ductwork, our ductless heating and cooling systems are the perfect solution. And we'll do whatever it takes to help keep your family healthy with indoor air quality products and duct cleaning. No two homes are the same, but we'll help you find a solution that's right for yours. Call Family Dance.
I started working at Denoyer in 2013. I was still fairly inexperienced. I was really lucky. I had a lot of really good training. I got sick suddenly. It was really unexpected. To know that I had my owners, my managers, my associates there to support me was incredible. I didn't have to miss much time, but it was just really nice having
Good morning, everyone. This is Kathy from the Airbnb in Schenectady, New York. And today we're going to do a whole practice around protecting the lower back. So some poses to stretch and strengthen the lumbar spine, some tips to keep in mind even when we're off the mat. So this practice will hopefully teach you something new about your lower back and tune you into some of the things that we can do to keep our spine and our lower back really healthy. So let's begin in child's pose. So good morning, guys. We're going to start at 10:30, and a minute or two before, I have several announcements that I want to make, so stay tuned. And so just get ready. We don't really need any props today, but if you use them as a general rule in your practice, go ahead and get them. We're going to be focusing on our lumbar spine today. And yeah, so in a few minutes, I'll make some announcements and then we'll get started. Okay. Oh. So I see Lelia, I see Jill.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, guys.
Are you back home?
No, not yet. I leave Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and I hate to tell you guys, but it's like 65 degrees here. It's so awesome. Last night I was coming out of a restaurant with a couple of friends of mine. I said, oh my God, it's cold out here. So we had really, really warm weather, like sticky warm, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then yesterday it fell to like 52 overnight. I'm on an upper floor in this house, so it's really warm up here. I just left the windows open all night, and oh man, it's awesome. I know Florida's pretty steamy right now.
Yeah, there's a heat wave going on.
I know. I looked at it one day and it said, temperature was 95 and it felt like 106. I'm like, oh no. So, but yeah, I'm taking off early Monday morning. I'll be back in town late Thursday night. So we will. One of the announcements is, let me see where we are. Yeah. One of the announcements is that there'll be no live class next week because I'll be driving on Thursday from Savannah to the Villages. So so a couple things. I just got an email this morning from one of the La Hacienda ladies, and she was asking me, when are we going to be back in the rec centers? And the only news I have is that there are only informal classes going on right now. It's like a flash mob. If you show up at a rec center and you want a room and there's a room available, then you can use the room as long as you do, reduced capacity and so on and so forth. But as far as scheduled classes with our regular schedule, they told me they'd get a hold of the volunteers by the end of September. So that's all I know. And so that's one thing. The other thing is that both, Yoga Nidra, well, Yoga Nidra is going to be canceled as well until Sunday, September 6th. And what was the other thing? Oh, we have passed the magic number of 100 subscribers on the YouTube channel. So thank you very much for whoever subscribed, because now instead of our link being this ugly mix of letters and numbers, it actually is YouTube/C for custom / The Villages Yoga. So I'm going to be sending out another link. The old link will still work if you use it. All 4 of us have many classes out there now. As a matter of fact, I'm streaming live on YouTube right now. It'll be recorded and it'll be up there later today. So, so that's great. It's really great to look at the views that our classes are getting, and the fact that we now have a URL that means something to somebody. The other thing is, oh, yes. So Marianne Holden, if you know her, is going to be going up north. I can't remember why, so I think it might be a family reason. But I am going to be taking over her class permanently Fridays at Bradenton at 9 a.m. So whenever that starts, so I'll be teaching in the Sterling Heights rotation on Mondays. I'll be teaching at La Hacienda 10:30 on Thursdays, and then I'm adding Friday 9 a.m. at Bradenton. So I got a kind of a class way up north and a class way down south and a class in the middle. So I'm very happy about that. I was a little hesitant, but that's a great group and a great space if you're anywhere near Bradenton and you want to check that class out when we finally get back to the rec centers. So let me just check my, okay. And the other thing that's happening is I've done goat yoga a couple times up here, which was absolutely a blast. And we're Jill, Carambola, a few of the yoginis, maybe Kathy Mendoza, and myself. There's a farm in DeLand that does goat yoga, and we're going to be hopefully, right, Jill, setting up something for October. We have to limit it to 20 people. But if we get 20 people, we'll have our own class. There won't be anybody but us. Of course, it's outside, and I think I can't remember how much it is, but it's a great experience. If you've never done it, it's a great thing to experience. So, okay, so let me just get settled here. We're going to start in child's pose, and today's class is all about the lumbar spine. Okay. So I designed this class, especially for Annie Roberts. I see she's not on today. Maybe she'll be tuning in a little bit later. But I promised a few people that I would design a class with them in mind. And I designed this class around some input that Annie gave me. So that's one of the reasons I'm recording it. So if Ann doesn't come in, she can see it on YouTube. Okay, so let's start. Let's start in child's pose. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, just want to make sure my bandwidth holds up. So let's start in child's pose. Okay. Bringing the knees out to the side of the mat and elongating and aligning the spine before we come down. Okay, so come on down. You can stretch your arms out in front of you, or you can bring them behind to near your ankles. Okay. We're elongating and aligning that spine, decompressing. We want to try and get space between those vertebrae So we do not squash those discs, those finicky little discs, okay? Breathe deeply here. This pose calms the mind, opens the hips. So as we sink into a meditative pose, we have somebody unmuted here. Hang on. Okay. Sorry about that. So starting in child's pose, and breathe into your back. Breathe into your back. Feel the breath and the movement in the back body. Imagine that those vertebrae are separating, that they're relieving pressure on those discs, elongating the spine, stretching and strengthening the spine are two big reasons why we do yoga. Of course, our spine is the command center along with the brain of the body. Opening the hips, calming the mind. Take a couple rounds of breath right here. Just imagine the body coming closer and closer to the earth, letting gravity bring you down. Bring your monkey mind down, bringing all the agitation and irritation in your body down. If you set an intention for your practice, now is a great time to do so. Let it get baked into your subconscious during your practice. Couple more rounds of breath, the eyes gently closing. Stretching, maybe you want to stretch forward. Maybe you want to bring your knees in closer. So we've got lots of room. If our knees are to the edges of the mat, we've got lots of room for deep, deep belly breaths here. Remember that the deep breathing helps move the lymph through the lymphatic system, oxygenates the body, and gives us a focal point, gives us structure, more of a texture to the breath, so that we can come back to the breath if our mind tries to drag us away. 2 more rounds of breath right here, and then we're going to sit up in hero pose. So bringing the knees together and sitting back on the heels. Now, you don't have to sit like this, okay? This can be tough on the knees. So you can sit in Sukhasana, an easy pose, or cross-legged if you wish, right? But one way we can alleviate some of the discomfort of hero pose is to sit on a block or a pillow, okay? This allows us to get our calves a little bit outside of our thighs, something that Clint calls saddle. Straighten the spine here, so it's all about the spine, right? Nice and tall, and we're neither over rounding or under rounding. We're not going to a flat back here, really bad for the lower back, and we're not going for a deep scoop. So find the balance here. Find your sit bones, find your sacrum, and find the balance here. Let's begin by looking over the right shoulder and then over the left shoulder. So stretching the neck. So this is where the cervical spine is, in the back of the neck. So that's the very top of the spine. One more to each side. And then come to center and dip the chin into the chest. For now, you can place your fingertips on the back of your head, very gently adding some weight to the head. Again, imagining space in between the littlest of vertebrae in the spine here. On your next inhale, move the chin to the right shoulder and then to the left shoulder. Pressing the head down ever so gently, doing a pendulum back and forth. Back and forth. Still getting those cracks in my neck. I guess they'll never go away. Let's do one more to each side, whatever side you're on. And then come to center and just gently lift the chin. Let's stare straight ahead and make some circles on the wall in front of you with your nose. So a few rotations here, really sending some love to that cervical spine. Got a big job of holding up that head all day long. Let's do another rotation here. And then when the face is fairly central, just pause for a moment. And whoa, do some circles in the opposite direction. So I've been doing a lot of driving in New York, catching up with old friends and so on. And I'm really happy that I can swing my head around without pain. Because my Airbnb is in the middle of the city. There's a lot of cars, a lot of parked cars, a lot of moving cars. And I'm constantly looking around to see what I'm going to hit next. One more rotation here, and then we're going to come to center. And let's bring the shoulders up, squeeze right up into the bottoms of the ears, the earlobes, and then bring the shoulders down. Don't let them fall down, okay? And use the lateral muscles here on the side of your back to bring the shoulders down. Create space between the shoulder and the ear. And then bring them up, squeeze. So we're getting rid of some muscular tension as well up here. Shoulder is a very complicated joint. If you ever have a shoulder issue, you know that that's really critical. Press down, up and down. Let's do a couple more here. And just come to center and bring your awareness to the tops of your shoulders here. Just bring your awareness to the tops of your shoulders, and now bring your attention between the shoulder blades and bring those shoulders back. Bring those shoulder blades closer together. Okay, so tall spine, fine length. We're going to roll the shoulders forward. Couple more rotations forward, and then come to center, and then roll the shoulders back. Separate the shoulder blades in the back. Open up, open up in the back when the shoulders are forward. Open up the chest when the shoulders are back. And let's come to center. Let's take a look at our wrists here. We're going to go up the arm, get the rest of the joints here, the wrist and the elbow. So just rotate the wrists here just a few times in one direction. And then change directions. Make a gentle fist and then starfish the fingers out. Just opening up the hands, making sure that those fingers are nimble, mobile, okay? And then bring the hands down to the mat And let's just do some non-weight bearing. You don't have to focus on your biceps here. Okay, what we're doing is just getting that synovial fluid in the elbow joint to lubricate that joint, thicken up and lubricate. And that's what the movement does for us here. So just a few, you can do opposite, okay? You can sing a little song, all right? And then bring the arms out, keep your shoulders down, bring the arms out, shoulder height. Look out over the right arm and the left arm. Really admire those muscles, hug the muscles to the bones now, engaging muscular energy. And we're just gonna do some circles here, a little bit more shoulder work, some isometrics for the arms. And let's rotate them back. Couple more rotations and then come to center. Keep your arms out if you can. Keep your arms out if you can. Tip the arms down so that the thumbs are down and back. Okay, so stretching the biceps here. Nice deep breaths. Keep breathing. Breathe in and out your nose through the whole practice. And then on your next inhale, turn the palms up and bring the arms up. Keep the shoulders down. Grasp the right elbow with the left hand, the left elbow with the right hand, and just circle around. You can open up the side body when you do this. So note my left side opening up now my right side, okay? So a little bit more shoulder work, little tiny lateral stretch side to side. We're gonna do more laterals when we get into table. Let's do one more rotation in this direction. Bring the arms down. Let's just wait for a moment. Take a round of breath right here. Feel the energy swirling in the hands and the arms, and then go the other way. I forgot which way I was going. You know, just make it up as we go along, okay? Round and around, picturing those beautiful shoulders. Again, getting that fluid that they need. Being nice and moisturized, rehydrated. Let's do one more rotation here. And unclasp the elbows, shake the arms out. On your next inhale, bring the arms up. Bring the right palm onto the back of the neck. Really gently now for a tricep stretch. Pull that right arm closer to your head, not necessarily down, but across, and feel that tricep stretching. Nice stretch for the upper arms. And on an inhale, raise the arms. On an exhale, bring the left palm to the back of the neck. Again, keep the chin level. Bring the left elbow closer to the head, closer to the left ear. Feel that tricep. Okay. Good. And bring those arms up and down. We're going to transition to table. So now that my legs are both broken from sitting in hero for so long, that's what I get. Let's go into table. I'm going to shake my legs out. So depending on what sitting position you were in, you may want to do the same thing. Yeah. Okay. And the quintessential pose in table. So look at your alignment here. We want to stack the bones for stability. Stability lowers the chance that we're going to hurt ourselves, as is using our breath. So don't hold your breath. That could set you up for a sprain or a strain. Look back. See if you can see your feet. If you can, move them out to the edges of your mat a little bit. Okay, so we want our lower legs going straight back. Rotate the arms externally. So rotate the arms this way towards your lateral muscles so that the soft, fleshy part of your elbow shines forward. Okay? So we're getting a lot of good arm work here. Press the finger pads into the mat, actually energizes the arms and makes yourself feel lighter. Okay? Protecting the wrists. And going into cat-cow. So let the tailbone lead the way. Okay? Inhaling in cow, exhaling in cat. So what we're doing here is improving the circulation to those discs, relieving stress from the back, trying to stay away from those bulging discs, or what do they call them, impinged discs maybe? Can't remember the other word. But nice and slow at your pace. Great for spinal flexion and extension, great for posture, great for spinal health. We're also activating the area between the shoulder blades, the upper back. So coming down into the thoracic spine, the middle area of the spine has the most vertebrae. A couple more here, a couple more rounds. Don't overdo it. We don't want to overdo it and then end up in pain. And then come to neutral. Take a breath here. On your next exhale, look back over your right shoulder to the right foot. Okay? So going into laterals here, 2 of the 6 critical movements of the spine. Going back and forth, again, very meditative move. Nice little lateral curve in the right side body and then the left side body. Okay, we don't have to kill ourselves going back and forth. Yoga is not about pain. Okay, it's all about mobility, flexibility, and stability. Let's come to center. If your arms are getting a little tired, like mine are for whatever reason, or your wrists, okay, shake them out a little bit because we're going to be doing a couple more poses in table. So not only do we need to stretch the spine for spinal health, but we need to strengthen the area around the spine. And that means we want to strengthen our back as well so that we have a fully, 360-degree area of strength for the core. All right. So we're going to do a bird dog, and I'm going to show you a variation. You don't have to do it. We're going to lift that left leg, flex the foot, press the heel toward the wall and back of you. Use your back muscles to keep that foot or keep that leg nice and level with the floor. Then if you feel stable enough, bring that right arm, right bicep, right near your right ear. And feel the energy. Oh, I can put my foot on the table. Okay, it's a little high. Okay. So if you want to try something different, you're going to bring the leg out to the side and the arm out to the side. Okay, external rotation. Arm out to the side, leg out to the side. Keep that leg up and then bring it back. Find length between those fingers and toes. Really stretch out. Strengthening the back, strengthening the abs. And then come down. Get resituated here. Maybe give your wrist a little love. And let's bring the right leg out. Again, bird dog, flex that heel, protecting the muscles, protecting the knee, and feel the back muscles engage. So you can really feel this in your lumbar spine. So that's the lower spine going into the sacrum, into the coccyx. Remember, the fleshy parts of the elbows are heading forward, bringing the left arm up and getting all the length you can between the toes and the fingers. Little bit of a balance challenge here. And then bring the left arm out and the right leg out. This is pretty challenging. You don't have to do it. Oh, did you hear that? And then bring it forward again. Woo! Stabilize yourself in the center. And then come down. Okay. Again, give your wrists a little love. Okay. So our last pose in table is going to be thread the needle. So we're going to bring our right arm out a little bit to the right and then slip that arm between your left arm and your left leg. So that gap right there. You can come down to the side of your head, opening up that shoulder in the back. Now, if you want a real challenge, you can put your left arm behind your back, root down into your right leg, and again, bring that left leg up, okay? So a little bit more back work as we're working on the shoulders. We're multitasking. Also opening up the front of the left shoulder. Don't have to. Okay, coming back. Let's do 2 rounds of breath right here. And very gently now, pressing up with the left hand, coming back into table. I'm going to turn around so I'll be facing the camera. And we're going to be bringing our left arm out. Left arm comes under that gap, laying the side of the head on the mat. Putting some weight on that shoulder, opening up the back of the left shoulder. And then if you feel stable, I don't know if I can do it on this side. If you feel stable enough, you could bring your right hand to the small of the back and press that leg out parallel to the floor. Again, you don't have to. You can just try it. Nobody's there if you fall. Meh. Okay. Bringing the hand and the knee back to the mat. 2 rounds of breath. And again, very gently unwinding yourself, bringing yourself up to hero pose or to your knees. Okay, let's go to our knees or hero pose, one or the other. Okay, I've had enough of hero pose today. All right, so we're talking about strengthening the core. So a lot of the poses that we do today are strengthening the abs, strengthening the back. And we want to pay a little bit of attention to the obliques, okay? So side plank is a really great pose to do that. So we have a couple variations, right? We can come down on our right hand. The right knee is on the mat with the foot straight back to the long edge of the mat. We bring the left foot out, press the outer edge of this would be a good place for a block. Remember, the block is right under the shoulders. So I got a nice long line here. Keep the head and neck in line with the body. And you can bring the other arm up. You don't have to look up. You can, but you don't have to, okay? Or, again, with the leg in the air. Or, okay, something that I hadn't done in a while, but I've done it a couple times since I've been here in my goat yoga classes, is the side plank. Side plank with both legs out to the side. Now what we want to do in this side plank is we don't want this oblique or this side body to dip down. So you got to be nice and straight. Okay, one line. Very challenging. I can feel that oblique now and then coming out. Tough on the wrist. A little tough on the wrist. Okay, let's go to the other side. So we got a couple variations we can do. You can be on your knee with the right foot out, toes pointing forward. Press the outer edge of that foot so you can see the arch of your foot. Okay. Or we've got the full expression of side plank. The right hand, the right wrist is under the right shoulder. Don't have to lift your right arm. The left hand is under the left shoulder. Right hand can be behind the back, on the hip. One thing that we're doing is keeping this side body up. So really focus your attention on that oblique, holding you up. And let's come down. Okay. So cross-legged or hero pose. We're going to be doing a deeper lateral stretch here after that oblique. Just with your breath back and forth, opening up the side body as we do so. Don't twist now. Keep your shoulders and chest oriented forward. You really want to focus on the side bodies. We don't do that enough in our everyday activities. Usually focused on our front body. Let's do one more in each direction. Reach high. Stretch that side body. And then placing the hands down, we're going to come up into down dog. We're going to build it from the lower body to the upper body. And down dog is really great for this class, which is addressing our lumbar spine, because we're addressing the flat back posture, okay? Flat lower back posture, which means that there's no, when you're in your resting position, your natural neutral position, when you have a flat low back, you have no curvature in that lumbar spine. And we always want to maintain some curvature in that lumbar spine. So let's come up onto our toes with our knees bent and talk about the upper body. So the ears between the biceps, shoulder blades are back and down. We're pressing away with our hands. Press into the finger pads, look back through your legs. Now, you don't have to straighten your legs, or if you do straighten them, you can pedal the legs in walking the dog, okay? Great stretch for the back of the legs. That's the bonus. Maybe we can come into round plank and come back. Keep your abs in and up. This is really getting into deep abdominal muscles. Down dog is a yoga pose that uses all the muscles in the body. Right now, this feels really good to go back and forth like this. And let's come to stillness. We can raise our left leg up, bring that right heel to the mat. If you want to, and only if you want to, you can open up that left hip, creating space in that side body, opening up that hip. Three-legged dog with the hip stretch. Bringing that leg back down, maybe doing a couple more walk the dogs. Really get into the calf muscles here. We don't do much for those in yoga. This is one pose where we can hit that muscle, keeping the alignment of your upper body the way we had it as we were building the pose. And then you can come into, I'm gonna turn around, but you guys can come into three-legged dog on the other side. Okay, so lifting the right leg up, bring that left heel down to the mat. Keep the ears between the biceps, looking back, crown of the head toward the mat. Opening up, bending that leg, and then twisting your body under, looking under that right armpit. Okay. Don't have to. Can stay in down dog, can come down to child's pose. Remember, we're strengthening our back and deep abdominal muscles in down dog. Just do a couple more. Walk the dog here. And come to center. Let's just take a round of breath in down dog. And then bringing the hands and feet together in forward fold. So standing forward fold, flexing the spine forward. We want to try and get our maximum flexion here. That's the goal of the pose. Now the icing on the cake is it's a mini inversion. So the blood is coming down to your face, your scalp, your hamstrings are being stretched. But our major goal here is the forward flexion of the spine. We're activating the abs. We're flexing the spine forward, the whole spine. Make yourself really heavy here. You can grasp your elbows in ragdoll. Tends to make your upper body a little heavier. Now you can have a bend in your knee here. Doesn't matter, okay? As long as you feel like you're getting the maximum flexion forward. Really let those vertebrae space out. This is elongation of the spine and activating the abdominal muscles. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is let's really bend our knees. So we should never be rolling up from forward fold with straight legs. Okay, it knocks our alignment out of whack. So what we want to do is press up with the legs and start putting the vertebrae, stacking the vertebrae on top of each other. Okay, I think I talked about this a couple weeks ago where we were saying that, finding a nice, comfortable, natural stance. So neither, flattening that back like I talked about before, or putting an exaggerated curve in there. So where the tailbone is tipped so far back that you're really scooping out that area unnaturally. Okay? So the natural path of the spine is to have a little bit of an inward curve here, okay? Little bit of an inward curve here in the lumbar spine, and then the thoracic spine has the tiniest of, I guess I'll call it an out curve, I'm not sure. But so we're doing like we've got two inward curves, and then the thoracic spine is an outward curve, I'll say. Okay, let's bring the left foot up, right foot back, into a lunge. Now, again, left knee over the ankle, this hip flexor, we definitely want open, but we don't want to crank our back and put that totally unnatural scoop right here. So find a balance. A very nuanced tipping of the spine, a very strong and stable in the legs, stretching that psoas. Okay, stretching that psoas muscle in the right leg. The psoas goes from the lumbar spine through the pelvis to the hip area, okay? So one of the hip flexors, we definitely want to take care of that muscle. If it gets tight, it can affect our gait and it can cause us lower back pain. So we don't want to overdo it, but we definitely want to stretch it. Okay? Keep everything oriented forward, both feet flat on the mat. Bring those abs in and up. And feel that psoas stretch. One round of breath right here. And it's bringing the feet together. Gonna break for a little bit of water. Let's go to the right leg in front. Knee over the foot. Don't let your knee collapse in. Back leg is straight. And open up that left hip. You can do anything you want with your upper body. Any hands on hips. You could take a little back bend here. And remember, our back bends don't start with our neck, okay? They start with the thoracic spine and opening up the chest, little bitty back bends, okay? This is the extension of the spine. So even though it feels like we may be bringing the spine together, this actually lengthens the spine as well. And then coming up, letting the chin be level with the floor. Bring your awareness to that hip flexor and the psoas muscle. Envision that muscle stretching, often gets tight. We don't pay enough attention to it in our daily, we're sitting so much and flexing forward. So when you flex forward, you bring your torso closer to your thighs, right? So we're sitting on the couch, we're doing this, and we're just really impacting negatively that psoas muscle. So open up that left hip. Let's take a nice deep inhale and exhale right here. And again, bringing the feet together. Woo! Doing a little dance. So I don't love this pose, but as I was designing this class, I found that it targets the back and the abs. Great for balance, great for posture, so it made its way in. So we're gonna go with Warrior 3. So if you want a chair or a wall okay. So we're gonna go back to the left leg as our standing leg. And we got a couple options here. So I'm gonna use the table, all right? We want our back and our leg to be in a straight line. Flex those feet, maybe a little micro bend in the left leg. So we're targeting both the back and the abs here, even if we're using a prop, okay? This takes a lot of balance, a lot of core strength, as you know, a lot of coordination. I don't even know if I can let go. I used to be able to do this pose. So you can bring your arms out to airplane. It's really, you find yourself dropping that leg, right? So if you have to sacrifice the arms for strengthening the back and the abs, then do that. For those of you who maybe have this more in your practice, you can either bring your arms out, framing the biceps into a T or back into like an airplane move, okay? Huge, huge standing leg impact here. And then come on down. Okay, shake out that standing leg, shake out both legs. Let's go to the other side. I'm going to try and muster up a pose with no prop here. Just spring forward on your right leg now, maybe a little micro bend on the knee. I'm going to bring my hands to my right thigh and bring my chest down, my leg up. Again, a little natural curve in the lumbar spine. Keep the head neutral. Maybe arms out to a T. Wow, just bringing my arms up. Wrecked my whole center of balance here. Bring the arms back, maybe that works better. My leg is killing me. Come on down. Woohoo! No wonder I don't do that very often. Okay. So we're going to go into the signature pose of the class, okay, which is staff pose. So let me get my pillow. It is really important, especially if you have low back issues, to raise your hips higher than your knees when you're in crisscross, which is easy pose, or sukhasana, whether we're in dandasana, which is the staff pose, which we're going to do now. So I sit on this pillow is not very high, okay? I'm going to sit right on the edge and bring my feet right out in front of me. Now, here's the kicker with staff pose. We absolutely don't want to be locking the knees out. Bend your knees just a hair, so you can get your fingers underneath the back of your knee, all right? So that's going to give you just a little bit more space in the pelvis. So we want the feet and the thighs to be touching. And we want to press our thighs down. Now, try and resist this is really difficult, to press the thighs down and keep the knees bent. But we want to activate those thighs. We're just not just sitting around. We want to activate the thighs, and we want to rotate them this way, in toward each other. Okay? Let's see if we're still okay here. Yeah, okay. This takes muscular energy, right? Again, our legs are active, our feet are flexed, got a little bit of air underneath the knees, we're not locking them out, and we're internally rotating the thighs. So our legs are really, really active. Pressure heels down. Feel that muscular energy come all the way up to your hips. Okay? Sit forward on your sitting bones. Sit a little bit forward. Okay, so those two bones, one in each buttock, little bit forward. Okay, distribute your weight equally. All right, so feel your thighs nice and active. Feet are flexed, toes or knees are bent a little bit. Now elongate the spine and the neck. Bring the shoulders back and down. Imagine that spine. You want that curve. So lumbar spine, thoracic spine, cervical spine. Okay, not jagged, nice and flowing, curvy, not exaggerated in or out, especially the lumbar spine. Broaden the collarbones. Feel the collarbones. Maybe just imagine them moving out to the left and right. Okay. And then lifting the chest. So when you think about it, even though in mountain we stress that the upper body is kind of buoyant and light, this is really the seated version of mountain. Totally grounded, centered. We're impacting the root chakra here especially. Okay, sitting on the sitting bones. Now, my arms are really short and I can still reach the mat. If you can't reach the mat, you want to have something to press your palms into. Now, we don't want to kill the mat. We just want to caress it gently. So don't let your lower back collapse. So we don't want to do this. All right, I just kind of lean back And my lower back is now flattened out. We want to maintain that natural curve in the lower back, and we don't want to round. We don't want to round forward. Okay. Now, what you can do to kind of check the curves of the spine, I was going to do this against the wall, but it's way too much moving. You can back up against the wall, place your sacrum and your shoulder blades against your shoulders against the wall, and let your lower back be away from the wall. That's the way your back should be curving. So the shoulders, or the shoulder blades and the sacrum, so that right down at the end of your spine, touching the wall, and the lower back is not touching. If it's touching, it means you're either moving that way, flattening that back against the wall, or there's something wrong with the curvature of the spine, okay? So I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, but you can check that out. So let's just go through those cues one more time. Feet flexed, knees bent, pressing the thighs in and down, elongating the spine, abs in and up. The back is naturally curved. Shoulder blades are headed out to the sides, shoulders back and down, palms pressing gently into the mat. The quintessential low back. If your low back is bothering you, there's a reason. Either your psoas is tight, your piriformis is tight, you've got an unnatural curve or a flat back, something. You should be comfortable. You should be comfortable, okay? So this is what Annie and I were talking about, and this is why this class is for her. Let's take a moment. Let's take a few rounds of breath in staff pose. Awesome for spinal health and posture. And bring the left foot up. Press the sole of the left foot into any place on the right leg, okay? Use the same principles that we use during Dandasana. So the right foot is flexed. My knee has a little bit of a bend, but I'm pressing my thigh down and in, okay? Sitting up straight, inhaling the arms up perhaps, coming down without rounding the back. I'm not going to say flat back here, but without rounding the back. When you feel resistance, stop. Breathe into the area of your body where you feel the sensations. Stop. Release some of the tension in the quadricep. On the next inhale, elongate the spine again, coming out of the waistband. Exhaling, perhaps coming closer. Now, when you feel as if you've gotten the maximum angle forward, then bow the head and round the back. Let your head be heavy. Again, forward flexion of the spine. You can use your strap here. So a great pose for the spine. Getting a little bit of a hamstring stretch here as well. And don't have a death grip on the bottom of your leg. With your next inhale, come on up. Let's go back into staff pose, flexing the feet, rotating those thighs inward. Okay, muscular energy. Pressing gently down on the mat. Taking a breath. And bringing the right foot up now. Adjusting your body so you got your weight evenly distributed. Shoulders down. Taking a breath in, and on the exhale, coming forward. Stopping when you feel that first resistance. Now, of course, our sides are not mirrors of one another. Might feel completely different on this side. On your next inhale, lengthen out of the waistband, crown of the head, away from the sacrum, and on the exhale, come on down. When we get down to our maximum angle forward, then we round the back, bring the head down. Spine is really flexed forward now. Remember never to put yourself in pain. You don't need to do that in yoga, okay? And then coming back, extending that right leg out, just sit back for a moment, bring your hands behind you, and just open up the shoulders. Don't look up at the ceiling. You don't need to do that. Protect your cervical spine. Look up at the where the ceiling and the wall meet. Just opening the chest here after that, folding forward. Couple of breaths right here. And then coming forward again. We're going to come down. Well, hang on one sec. Okay, so coming onto your knees here. Maybe the knees are hip distance apart. Walking the hands out and just bringing the thighs, not the pubic bone, just the thighs, and sort of counteracting that forward fold. Little bit of a bend in the elbow, press those finger pads in, feel the abdominal muscles stretch. Now this is a pretty deep scoop for the lower back, so just be careful. Come on down into your belly whenever you feel comfortable to do that. And slowly coming down, watch that back. Okay. Maybe making a pillow. Maybe making a pillow with your hands. Bring the left cheek or the one cheek or the other to your hands and just let the body go for now. Just let it melt into the mat. Taking a round of breath here. Let yourself melt. On your next inhale, picking up the head and putting the other cheek on the hands. So rotating the head 180 degrees. And again, melting into the mat. Taking a breath. And bringing the elbows under the shoulders. Hands are lightly on the mat. So we're accentuating the back arch here. So we're over rounding the lumbar spine for a moment. Okay, stretching it out. Doing a little bit of spinal extension here. Let your arms be heavy on the mat. Press the pubic bone down, but the legs are nice and relaxed. Legs are nice and relaxed. Couple rounds of breath right here. So we're going to transition back to targeting both the abs and the back in locust. So come on down, bring the arms behind you, palms up. I think you can either do this with the arms back or the arms in front. I think back is more traditional though, okay? So as we inhale, bring the legs, the arms, the chest up, okay? Everything is engaged. The head and neck are in alignment with the spine, so we're not cranking our head back. Press the fingers back to the wall and back if you feel your triceps engage. We're using every back muscle here and also targeting some of the abdominal muscles. Come down whenever you want to. It's up to you. You can even do, this in stages. You can bring your legs down. Just be really careful of your lower back. So holding, breathing. Don't stop breathing. And then coming down again, bringing the arms forward, making another little pillow. Bring one cheek to the hands. Take a round of breath. And the other cheek, a round of breath. And when you're done with that, open the knees wide, come on back to child's pose. Again, elongating the spine, getting space between those vertebrae so the discs you can alleviate some of the pressure on the discs. Nice deep breaths here. Breathing into the back of the lungs, sitting right close to the back there. Nice deep belly breaths. One more round of breath. And then swinging the legs around and coming to our backs. Coming to the back, flatten the back out on the mat. Feels really good for a moment. And then let that natural curve in your lumbar spine show itself, okay? So we've got that curve in the lumbar spine. I mean, you can feel that there's space below the lumbar spine. And one by one, you can have your left leg bent or straight. It doesn't matter. You can start out with it bent and then slide it out. Bring your right knee in. And nice pressure on your shin. We're pretty warmed up. You can extend that left leg. Flex the foot. So we're stretching. Stretching that right hip, reseating the femur in the joint. And then very gently, not letting that leg snap, just bring it down. Bring the left leg up, creating space again in the lower spine. Maybe hitting some acupressure points in the back. That always feels really delicious. And placing both soles of your feet on the mat, heels close to the buttocks. We're just going to do some spinal tilts here. So it's our version of supine cat and cow. Okay. Just lending the spine more flexibility. Obviously, we're massaging the lumbar spine here, the target of our practice today. And then come to center. And on an inhale, press the legs up. Now, this is another psoas stretch. Okay, so we're stretching the psoas. We're strengthening the legs. We're extending the spine, lengthening the whole spine here. Keep your neck and head still. We don't want to go moving it too much. It's in a little bit of a vulnerable state here. So press the tops of those quadriceps right up to the ceiling. You can put a block under your sacrum here, supported bridge. If you want to stay up here, enjoy the extension of the spine. On the next exhale, bring yourself down slowly. Bring yourself down slowly. Hit those acupuncture spots. Really taking care of the vertebrae on the way down. And again, maybe you want to move your feet out a little bit and just do a couple more pelvic tilts here. And then coming to center, bringing the left ankle over the right knee, letting that leg hang out. This is our Supine pigeon, great for the piriformis, another hip flexor muscle. And that piriformis muscle often gets too tight, presses on the sciatic nerve, and then you know what happens. So just be really careful. We don't want to overdo it. You can amp up the stretch by lifting that right leg. Both feet are flexed. Bring the left foot toward the face, the left thigh away from the face. Supine pigeon. You control the intensity of the stretch, the length of the pose. I'm just here. Just another pretty face. Okay? And gently put that right foot down, unwind, and put the right ankle over the left knee. Let that left leg hang out. Press that leg up. Bring the foot closer to the face, the thigh farther from the face. That piriformis is deep, deep in the buttocks. Very hard to stretch, but man, you know it's there when you have sciatica. If it's part of the problem. The other problem is the discs and the reduced space between the discs, impinging on that sciatic nerve. Oh, if you've ever had it, you know what I mean. Let's bring that left leg down, bring the feet out to the edge of the mat. Just windshield the wipers, windshield the wipers, windshield wiper the knees. Back and forth, nice and slow. Maybe you want to give a little press to that quadricep of the upper leg when you're down there. Really gentle. Again, massaging the lower spine. And then coming to center, bring the knees up to 90 here. Arms out to a T and bring those knees to one side or the other. I'm coming to the left. It's more important to have both shoulders on the mat than it is to get your knees down here. So if you feel that right shoulder, now I'm on my knees are to the left. So if I feel my right shoulder blade coming off the mat, I'm going to back off. I'm going to put a block or a blanket here. But you'll find that when you find the full expression of the pose, keeping your shoulder on the mat, breathing, letting gravity do its work. Maybe placing the left hand on the right thigh, pressing down very gently. Spinal twists, the 5th and 6th critical movements of the spine. So forward flexion, backward extension, laterals to the right and left, and twisting to the right and left. Something our spine craves, something our spine absolutely needs to stay healthy, keeping us stable, mobile, and flexible. Okay, let me shut up for 3 rounds of breath here. And then perhaps letting your left hand go, bringing the knees to the up to the center, maybe rocking back and forth for a little bit, massaging the buttocks, making circles with the knees. Okay, one way and then the other. Feels really good. And then coming to center and bringing the legs over to the other side. Again, both shoulders on the mat. You can look up at the ceiling, or you can look up at your look across at your outstretched arm, letting gravity just bring you closer and closer to the earth. The more your legs are bent, the more you're going to feel it. So if you're feeling uncomfortable, straighten your legs a little bit. Take your knees away from your face. 3 rounds of breath. And then coming back to center, doing whatever stretches are good for you, heading into final meditation or shavasana. You can have your legs up the wall. You can try the lower back exercise against the wall, having the sacrum and the shoulder blades touching, and feeling that alignment. Coming into a comfortable position, letting all the coulda, woulda, shouldas out of your consciousness just for a moment. It's raining here. I love to hear there's a lot of trees on this block. I love to hear the sound of the trees, sound of the rain hitting the leaves. Just imagine that. Okay. Just checking to see if we have any issues with the feed. No. Okay. So relax and bring all your awareness to the solar plexus. So the area right between the ribs and under the chest. The solar plexus chakra is the source of our personal power. The color associated with the solar plexus chakra is yellow. So imagine a yellow sunball there. Golden yellow, buttercup yellow, and it's pulsing, sending energy to every corner of the body. Imagine the rays of golden light from that sunball. Rays traveling down the right arm to the palm of the right hand, all the way into the fingers. Feel the tips of the fingers on the right hand tingling with energy. Sense another ray from the golden sunball making its way down the left arm, through the elbow to the wrist to the palm of the hand and the fingertips. Feel all the energy in the palm of the left hand. Letting the body settle, becoming warm and heavy, supple from the golden energy. Feel that energy radiating upwards toward the chest, into the throat, into the face and the head. The head, the neck, the face, the shoulders, becoming warm and heavy while being energized, infused with health and light. Feel that golden energy radiating toward the hips and the pelvis, through the thighs and the knees, the shins, the ankles. Feel all the energy in the soles of the feet. Feel the body filled up from toes to head with golden energy, infusing the body with health and the mind with peace and serenity. And become aware of your breath. Deepen your breath now and start to make small movements with your hands and feet, your arms and legs. Taking a moment to recall your intention, to focus, or bring your attention to how you feel about your yoga practice today. What you're feeling, what you observed, what you've learned. And make your way up to a comfortable seated position. So it's really raining right now. It's I have my window open. Just love the sound. It's pretty gray here, but it's a kind of a nice break from the sunshine. So let's sit up tall. Remember our back, all the things that we can do to strengthen it, to stretch it, and to help it be part of our healthy body. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Bring the arms up. Keep the shoulders down. Bring the palms together. Float into Anjali Mudra. Bring your shoulders down. Maybe connecting the thumbs with the sternum. I had a great time designing this class for Annie Roberts. I'll be designing more classes for some other special people. And again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and also for utilizing our YouTube channel. We have over 100 subscribers now, so we have our own URL. Remember, no live yoga next Thursday. I'll be on my way home to Florida. Let's just bow our heads. Think of one thing that makes you grateful. I know I'm grateful for our yoga community, grateful for the community at large. Thank you for letting me guide your practice today. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming today.
Thanks, Kathy. Thank you. Good class, honey.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Kathy.
Annie was here. Great.
Yeah, not real late today. Sorry.
That's okay. No worries. We're always here. We're always open for business.
Hey, Kathy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that class, but I thought today was your travel day, and thankfully Karen contacted me when I didn't sign on. She said the class is for you today.
Oh,
so
cool.
I missed the first 10 minutes.
Well,
I thought today was your travel day.
yeah, no, I'm going to be traveling next week, and Annie, it'll be up on the YouTube channel.
Oh, I can see what I missed in the beginning.
Yeah, I was streaming it live, and it'll be up there as one of the recordings. So. Yeah.
Okay, super. But okay. I gotta tell you, I still can't sit up straight with my legs in front of me. My thighs were screaming.
Oh no!
I cannot make that right angle with my body, legs straight and back straight. I keep leaning backwards.
Oh my! Well, you should do it leaning against the wall. Then it might help. It might.
I am going to do that.
Try it. It might relieve some of the pressure. I'm not sure. You know, like I said, I'm not a therapist. I don't know what's going on there, but it might relieve.
Everybody else sitting there so comfortably, and I'm screaming.
I know. Well, my thighs weren't hurting, but my back, I must have been doing something a little bit off. And of course, our spine is so sensitive. You know, it just all it takes is a little tweak, right? So, got to be careful.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Okay, guys. See you in a couple weeks.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
Kathy, bye-bye.
Thank you
so much. Hey, Sharon.
Hey, Sharon.